All right, everyone, we'll be getting started in just 2 minutes, so keep talking.
We still have some seats available. Some seats over here if anybody needs to take a seat before we get started. I want to encourage everyone to take a seat if you can. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jordan Cohen. I'm the Vice Chair of the Youth Council.
And my name is Tatea Spriggs. I am the Chair of the Youth Council.
On behalf of the entire council, I'd like to welcome everyone to the People's House. I want to thank the Governor and Lieutenant Governor for being here today. Last year, Governor Healey signed Executive Order 617, establishing the Governor's Youth Advisory Council to advise the Governor and Lieutenant Governor and the entire administration on critical issues impacting Massachusetts youth, such as civic engagement, education, the environment, housing, and youth violence.
But we can't start this event without saying thank you to Governor Healey and Lieutenant Governor Driscoll for creating this initiative of the Youth Council and for being here with us today. Thank you to Lieutenant Governor and the Governor for your work day in and day out for the residents of Massachusetts on behalf of the youth. And today, we are here to make your voices heard, to hear from you on what the Healey-Driscoll administration can do for you.
This past summer, the Governor's Youth Council organized 3 listening sessions held virtually from youth across the state. We gathered the feedback from around 100 youth and turned what we heard into recommendations for the Governor and Lieutenant Governor based on our 4 main focus points in the Council, which are education, mental health, healthcare, and youth violence. A few examples of the many things we recommended to the Governor include supporting a financial literacy bill, which teaches important financial skills to students, supporting a bill that provides funding for addressing youth substance use and mental health challenges, as well as supporting a bill to address healthcare disparities, and finally, supporting the appropriate training of resource officers in schools. These are a few examples of the work we have done around the 4 main focus points, and we are really excited to take your feedback from today and turn them into action.
As we said before, we are here to make sure your voices are heard. Our mission is to elevate youth perspectives in state government. As the next generation, it is our responsibility to shape the future into a world that we want to live in. Within government, it's oftentimes that the youth feel powerless. Many of us are not old enough to vote or believe that our votes and voices don't matter. Well, we are here to tell you that it does. Whether you lobby in the State House, support local causes, or post about politics on social media. Your voice, your presence, and your action matters, and it makes a difference. We are the Youth Advisory Council. We are your advocates. And we are proof that the next generation isn't not just the future. We are the change that happens in the present. Because when the youth speaks, the world listens. Thank you to also our fellow council members for being here today. As for the Health and Human Service Secretary, Kate Walsh, and Higher Education Commissioner, Noe Ortega, who are here with us today and will be joining us shortly to have a great conversation.
But to kick us off, we would like to invite to stage our fearless leaders, the Commonwealth's first female elected governor, Maura Healey, and Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello, anybody here? All right.
Hey, so I am Maura.
I am Kim.
Okay, and we have the privilege, we have the honor of working for all of you and working for your families. And we do that alongside a big team in our administration. And we're really grateful to have that position to have that responsibility. I just want to commend Jordan and Jatea. Fantastic. You guys are awesome. You have been awesome chairs. We had a Zoom recently. It's great to be able to meet you in person. Thank you so much for your words, and we're really excited about the opportunity of this council. Thank you all for coming, and thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you for the work that you're going to do, because we need you. We need you. Now, we had this idea to establish a youth advisory council, and I want to thank some special people on our team, in addition to Jatea and Jordan, who've taken on the leadership responsibility. We have a team in the Office of Access and Opportunity. It's a new office that we created in our administration. And so thank you to Marconi and Jarlanes, to Jordan, to Art, and to Clara, all working to make sure that everyone's voice is heard. I think you heard it said so well. Your voice is your power. Your voice is your power. And yes, some of you are not able to yet vote, but you will be one day. In the meantime, know that that really matters. Your voice matters. It's not that we talk about this in terms of we want your voice because we want to make policies that are good for you and the next generation. No, we want your voice now because you actually have the ideas and can help us think through what we need to do right now in our communities and in our state. And so thank you for bringing that, because the world needs help. The world needs help. I also know that we had an election last week, and it's really important folks understand that we have our own job to do as a state. No matter what may happen at any given time at the national level, you guys all live in cities and towns. You live in the great state of Massachusetts, and we have the opportunity to chart our future, to chart our course, even in a time where there is some uncertainty, some fear, some questions, some anxiety. Know that, okay? So you're here at an incredibly, incredibly important time, and we're just so grateful to the work that you're going to help us do, on so many fronts. How you're going to get best educated, what you need for better access to health care, what kind of job environment you want to have, what you want to see done to protect our environment, to make us more resilient in the face of climate change, on issues of social justice, and so much more. So you guys, just by being here, are the definition of leaders, and I'm just personally really, really grateful to all of you for showing up and representing your communities in this time. And I'll turn it over to the Lieutenant Governor.
Thanks, Governor. I appreciate it. It is good to see everybody here, and we're really grateful to be able to be in partnership with all of you, thinking about the work we're fortunate enough to do leading the Commonwealth, whether that's shaping policies, shifting resources, trying to make sure that we're building a Commonwealth that's more affordable, more equitable, more competitive. That really is about the work we're doing now that can assist you as you start your career pathways, whatever it may be. And we know that many of the challenges that our youth generation is facing is really longstanding. Some are not new, and that means we need new approaches, new ideas, best efforts, and really to dial in to what is happening day to day in the places you live. Some of you come from large urban centers, some of you come from more rural towns across the entire Commonwealth, and the challenges may be different, the needs may not all be aligned, but the opportunity to bring your voice into solving these challenges is real and is honestly going to be very helpful to us. You're going to hear from two of our leaders in the administration, Secretary Kate Walsh, who heads up Health and Human Services. That means she's responsible for everything from the Department of Public Health, programs and services, to assist some of our most vulnerable residents, how we work with hospitals in the healthcare industry, and making sure we have greater access to that. And then Commissioner Noe Ortega. Noe works in part of our higher ed system to ensure that we're thinking about how we can build a pipeline within higher ed, particularly public higher ed, that meets your needs and that meets the needs of our workforce. So as you're graduating, what type of careers, what opportunities you might have to move forward, how do we best prepare you for that? And your opportunity to both converse with those two and help understand where the things that you're seeing can be applied to the work that they're doing is really important. And I just want to end with saying, we talk about voice being power. For us, it's very real. A long time ago in this amazing hall, I'm sure somebody told you, but all of these flags are flags from each of our 351 cities and towns. Every town or city has particular seal, and that's what are on these flags. And if we were in this building 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, the people who represented all of you in your communities were primarily men, they were primarily white, and that was the case for a really, really, really long time. And what we've seen more recently is that we've widened the table, not just in government, but in lots of places, making room for others, women, individuals of color, members of the LGBTQ community. We know when we do that, we get better outcomes in business, better outcomes in government, greater perspective for how the work that we're fortunate enough to do can actually have an impact, a greater impact on the needs of our communities, of our young people, and how we build a Commonwealth that's more fair and more just. And so we're grateful to have you all here. This isn't just an exercise for you to put something on your resume so you can get into a better school. We really want to hear from you so we can put your thoughts and help it inform practice that we're fortunate enough to be able to do. So thanks for committing the time. All of you are busy. Some of you probably have extracurricular activities from sports to music. I know we've got some entrepreneurs in the group. There's lots of things you could be doing. You are giving back, and you're helping make this state a better place by your time here today. So I just want to say thank you. We're going to put your ideas to good use.
All right, can we give another big round of applause for the Governor and Lieutenant Governor? At this moment, I'd like to invite up Adrian Paz, who will be performing spoken word. Adrian is from Lynn with roots in Cali, Colombia. He began dancing as a child and discovered his love for competitive dance 4 years ago. His other passion is poetry. He wants to use his passion to share his story and connect with others through the arts. He's focused on growing and learning, especially in the field of mental health, anti-racism, and being an advocate by understanding the intersection of these issues. He is constantly learning different ways to tell stories, and his involvement in programs like Raw Arts gives him and youth like him the opportunity to do so. So please give a warm welcome to Adrian.
I would just like to say thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, Governor, for giving me this opportunity to perform here. This is my first time ever performing spoken word to a whole bunch of youth, so hopefully you guys like this poem. It's come from my soul, and I really appreciate y'all for listening. I was born a black child with beautiful skin that tells a story, my curly but beautiful nappy hair. It's a part of who I am. Everything from my clothing to my shoes, it reflects my identity and the journey I embraced. As a child, I walked through life unaware of the heavy responsibility tied to my identity and the unspoken dangers around me. The world seemed bright, but I didn't know about the fears and the prejudice lurking in the shadows. I didn't realize the threat of just existing, the potential danger of my hoodie that might bring, the consequences of speaking my mind, or against an often unfair system. But I've learned these harsh realities. Now I carry the burden of fear that my life can end too soon because of my skin colors, the words that I use, or the actions that I take. But I still have hope. I believe in the strength of community and our ability to create change together. No matter our skin, race, ethnicity, or gender, we are all part of the same human family. And we need to support each other. Every second I am fighting, trying to thrive, learn, and grow, proving wrong who those underestimate me, hoping someone hears me. I need you to hear me. I need your voice. Each of us have the power and the ability to make a difference. The question is, how will you use it? Let this be the first step toward unity. From community to family, we can change together. Thank you for listening.